So, you finally become a weeb. Now I know you probably have a lot of questions, but don't panic. I, Nadaknella Sensei, am here to answer all of your questions and help you on your journey to becoming a full-fledged weeb. And for today's very first lesson, we will be discussing Lolis. So right off the bat, what even is a loli? So there are basically two main definitions of what a loli is, and I'm going to go over both of them briefly. Okay, so simply put, the first definition of loli is basically that anyone who's under the age of 18 is a loli. So 17-year-old and under is a loli, 18 above not a loli. So the second definition, which is more correct in my opinion, is basically that age does not dictate whether someone is a loli or not. What dictates it is if they have the personality traits or appearance of somebody who is a lot younger. For example, someone could be 28 years old and be a loli, and someone could be 17 and not be one. Alright, so now I'm going to be talking about some characters who I personally think embody the term loli the most, as well as talking about some characters who I think get falsely identified as a loli. Alright, so the first loli we're going to talk about here is Yoshino from Date Alive, and now I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, just by looking at her, you can see from her appearance, the way she dresses. I mean, she even has a puppet on her hand literally 24/7. You can't really get more childish than that. Not to mention, she cries all the time in the show, so her personality and her appearance embody that of a child. So that fits our definition of loli, so she's the first one. Alright, so the next loli I'm going to talk about is Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. Now the way that she's different from Yoshino is that she's actually 28 years old, meaning that she is indeed an adult. Now in my opinion, being an adult doesn't automatically disqualify you from being a loli. To me, being a loli simply depends on your personality and your appearance. And Tatsumaki, she's very selfish, she acts like a brat, she has the personality traits of a child, not to mention her appearance looks like one as well. So that's why in my opinion she also qualifies a loli despite being an adult. Okay, so my next choice is definitely a bit on the line between loli and not. It's very close, but just hear me out on this one. My next choice is Asuna Argento from High School DxD. Now, the thing is with Asuna, in my opinion, I feel like her personality definitely is that more of a kid, especially out of anyone in the show. She's definitely the most innocent, and I know you're like, oh, High School DxD. Nah, listen, she's the most innocent one there. Her mannerisms are very childish, okay? Now, her appearance, it's pretty close. But if I have to say it, I will say, in my opinion, Asuna is a loli. Very close indeed, but that is my third pick. Alright, so now I'm going to give two examples of characters who I think completely disprove the other definition of loli, and despite them being under the age of 18, show no characteristics of that of a loli. And the first example of this is going to be Asuna Yuuki from Sword Art Online. Now, as we can see, Asuna definitely does not look like a child. Her personality definitely doesn't match that of a child either. So basically, despite her being under the age of 18, she doesn't really meet any other requirements. Now, according to some people, being under the age of 18 automatically makes you a loli. However, I think Asuna is a good example of how this can be seen as false. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and defend Rem. Now, I've had numerous people tell me that Rem is a loli, and I just have to completely disagree with this. Now, to me, I do understand a little bit why people say Rem is a loli, mainly just because she does have a somewhat childish face, and she does show a lot of love towards Subaru, but to me, her having more of that dere type of personality doesn't automatically make her a loli. It just means that, she has a lot of love for Subaru, and she's willing to do anything for him. Anyways, not to get off topic, Rem doesn't really display any of the personality traits of all the other lolis, not to mention that other than her face, the rest of her body definitely doesn't seem underdeveloped, and yeah, in my opinion, Rem definitely is not a loli. And well, if you disagree, fuck off. Alright, so in conclusion, what we learned today was that a loli is someone who embodies the traits of a child as well as the appearance of one. Someone can be underage and not a loli, however, someone can be overage and be one. We saw many examples, and always remember this: Rem is not a loli. Okay? Alright. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson, boys. Toodaloo.
私初めてだから優しく来てユキユナユキ赤ちゃんみたい